The AFCON draws was held yesterday in the city of Marrakesh, Morocco to be precise. And African stars from all over the continent of Africa, past and present footballers, graced the event. And of course, as we all know, Super Eagles of Nigeria will participate in this year's AFCON 2025. That will be held in Morocco from December 21st, 2025 down to January 18, 2026. So now, Nigeria was placed in Group C alongside Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. But in my own humble opinion and honest opinion, I would say Group B is the toughest. It has Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. We're going to start with the first group, analyze the possible first and second place team. Those are my qualified from the group. So in the Group A, we have Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. CJ, I will start with you. I'm sure you have the list with you too. Groupings.
Yeah, I do.
So, Group A, we have Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. Comoros are the underdogs in this group.
Comoros are the underdogs, definitely, because for them to actually qualify to the group stage of this tournament, of the nations, it's a big plus to the country, because if we should check out way back then when they are bigger teams, when they have the bigger teams in Africa, like the big boys, like teams of like Cote d'Ivoire, you cannot even count Comoros. I don't think if they will make it.
I think this is their first Nations Cup.
I think so.
Their first Nations Cup.
I think this is their first Nations Cup, yeah.
And a team like Ghana didn't even make it to the Nations Cup.
Just you see. So you see that football actually has really changed, and
African football has developed. Changing. No longer underdog.
Yeah, and in that group, I actually see Morocco.
Yeah,
Morocco in Africa.
They're number
they
one.
Are not. They might be number one, but they are not too fantastic. Yes. I believe that ranking they gave them was actually because they reached
World Cup
this
performance
semi-final or semi-final, right? Quarter-final. No, I think semi-final because they played the third place.
Yes, semi-final. And they lost.
They're the first African team to reach the semi-final.
Yes.
So they lost to Croatia.
They lost
at the fourth place.
They came fourth.
Place. Yeah. Yes. So I think their ranking is based on what their performance at the World Cup.
Yeah.
But when it comes to African games,
they've not really been fantastic.
They have not really been fantastic. Yes, that's true. And things like Mali on African games, those guys are like, they're always powering.
They're always there to disturb.
They have to destroy
you. They will not win,
or they'll just
stop you from going forward.
Yeah,
but they will not win.
But at least there was a certain time Mali was good.
Yeah, 2004, 2006. Kanute. Frederick Kanute.
Before you beat Mali.
Yeah, this guy that played for, what's his name? Keita.
You
played for Barcelona.
You have to sweat out your axe and you work really hard before you beat them. I think in that group, and again, told Zambia, there are things like 2012
when they won the Nations Cup.
Everybody wrote them off. And that year they
surprised everybody. Nigeria. And the favorite to win the Nations Cup that year was Cote d'Ivoire.
Because they played them in the final. They played in the final. And it was on Cote d'Ivoire home soil
because they were the host nation.
Understand? But since then, after that incident, they have been finding it
difficult to come
back to African football. And check out most of their players. They lost good players. Like all those are good players you don't have before you see those kind of players again in Zambia.
That was a golden generation.
Very hard. You understand? So I think in that group, basically it's Morocco, Mali. But I don't know who's going to come out first and second.
I favor Morocco, Mali too. I place Morocco first, Mali second. So coach, just say Group A.
Yeah, in Group A, like what you were saying, when it comes to talking about underdogs, it's on the papers.
On the papers.
Yeah. But on the practical, it's not like that.
Because football on the pitch is different.
It's a very different thing entirely, and there are too much of surprises.
Yeah.
So in all of these groups, there must be a group that will spring up a surprise. That is where a team you never expected will qualify ahead of those ones that you expected to do what? To qualify. So in this group, Morocco, like what they said, they are the host nation.
Yes.
And definitely in Africa, every nation will always try to make sure that they host and they win. Do you understand me? Not from the back door, from their preparation, to
gameplay on the field,
gameplay,
everything.
Then in everything. So I see Morocco, coming out in that group. But Mali and Zambia, since Zambia lost their team,
golden generation.
It has been too hard, for them to bring up a team that's been like that. But they were fortunate to bring one that won the Nations Cup, some years back. But as I see them, they'll still be, a team to reckon with in that group.
They might create an upset in the group.
In that group. But Mali, as you said, Mali is a team that has players that are diehard. Let us go and do it. This is what we want. If we don't achieve it, we'll make sure that we don't get the negative result. So that group is Morocco, Mali, Zambia, but at least Morocco has to qualify, and they will qualify. So the second person to qualify is Mali and Zambia. But I see 3 of them qualifying because there is a best loser. So I see 3 teams coming out from that group.
Okay.
So now I will choose our attention down to the group B. I call this group of death. Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, on paper, just like you said, are the underdogs. But for them to have made it to the group stage, it means they did their homework and did it very well. So now, Coach, I'll start with you. Egypt first, according to the grouping. South Africa next, Angola third, Zimbabwe fourth on the groupings. So now, from your own experience in African football, who do you think is going to come out first, second?
Yeah, this is another group when it comes to the ranking.
The ranking, yes.
Do you understand me? So when it comes to the ranking, from first to maybe 20th,
yes,
I believe we'll see
top 3. These top 3 are there.
The top 3 there. Then between 20 and 24, you see Zimbabwe. So which means they have a very tough opposition.
Yes.
That place is a very tough group. Egypt, per se, has some class of players playing good in different clubs. I was surprised to see this boy in Man City, Mamouche. See that boy is something when it comes to
Salah doing wonders in the
So that group will be very tough, but I see Egypt coming out. I'm seeing a situation whereby they will still produce 3
as the best loser from that same group.
Yes, from that same
group. And again,
group.
one thing that we shouldn't forget in this group is that Egypt, South Africa, and Angola play almost similar football. They play this kind of European, soft African pattern. They go soft on you, pick you one after bit by bit. This kind of passing football, free-flowing football. Then towards the end of the game, they become very physical. When they know they've scored 1 or 2 goals, they become very physical to just keep their lead. That's one thing Egypt are very good at. If Egypt, when they're very good, they get you, they always keep the ball free-flowing football. When they score 1, score 2 goals, towards the dying minute, start frustrating your play. That's when you start seeing them lying on the floor up and down. Egypt, Morocco, most of the North African teams are good at this, but Egypt, they are kind of, what they call it, wasting of time is kind of minimal.
No, they are really good at that. No, if it's about Egypt, Egypt is the kind of thing like if you play them and they're actually leading you, when it gets to that 80 minutes, 85 minutes, they'll frustrate you. They'll frustrate you everything they have. Once you hit them, you see their players on the floor. You understand?
That's the biggest mistake you make if you are behind.
You allow them to score you first.
You understand?
Don't let them score you
That's
first.
the thing. But if they are scoring you and you're not wasting that time, you see as if there's war in the pitch. Because every day they want to stand up, get up, this and that. So that's, and to me, to give more insight on the group stage, I would say, well, it may be a surprise group. Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe, but I still see Egypt and South Africa qualifying for that game because South Africa on their own, they have proven to the world that they are good. Because if you check out recent games in the last Nations Cup,
they have a new coach.
The last Nations Cup, they did practically well. If not, Nigeria guys use experience for them. What Nigeria used in PT was experience. And I think the match ended in a shootout or two.
Penalty shootout.
You understand? So
one thing about South African football is that their local league is developing seriously.
Yes.
And most of about 80% of their players play from the local league. So there is this understanding.
They have
inside of them.
The last Nations Cup that was held, their first 11 that played their first 3 games in the group stage. 7 from one team, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
They had 23 players and made up their total squad and made it to tournament. Only one player came from outside.
No, that was back already.
That was back playing home soil before he left for Egypt.
Yes.
Then one other player playing, I think in Portugal or thereabouts.
Yes.
And he wasn't making the team.
And if you check, that was what made Spain
Yes.
of those days.
And if you
when they
watch
won the World Cup,
the
I think
game
in South
against
Africa.
Super Eagles, we suffered.
No, the World Cup Spain won in South Africa.
Yes.
And if you check the team,
That won
the players are
from
just
two
from
teams. Barcelona, the
Real
understanding
Madrid.
was-
So the understanding is there.
Yeah, the only players included as of that time was
No, Pasitao too was a foreigner playing in Egypt, yes.
yeah.
And one other player.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
why I say over 90% of them
Yes,
play in
yes.
their league.
Yeah,
So-
and it's actually really helping them out because in as much as Nigeria, we know our Nigerian league is not actually
Still,
developing
yes.
that way
We want
which we want. Yes, we have more players playing in Europe, even the ones that they want to travel more and the ones that want to like break into the national team. It's not easy, you understand? But things like South Africa and Egypt, even in Egypt, they still have homegrown
Yes.
players that file up the team.
at least 5 to 7 players
You
from the local
understand?
league.
And,
Mixed with the
and
national
when they play, they keep on understand. You know, when you play together, when you understand the pattern of the league, and you understand pattern of how we play as a team, you understand. Bringing in an outsider will be more easier than bringing in
From different clubs
clubs,
scattered all over the
in as much as they might understand the game and they might flow with the rhythm, but that understanding might not be as well as you playing within your
Yourselves,
vicinity.
yeah.
You understand? So that's to me, I believe in that group. South Africa will come out first, Egypt will come out second, because Angola
They've not really been fantastic.
Angola has not been that
They'll
far.
just make it to
Not like
Nations Cup.
there was a
and
time
not
I
in
know
the
of Angola when I really knew
Figueroa used
was
to have this
Manucho
Manucho,
when they obstruct Nigeria from going to the World Cup and they went to the
2004.
World Cup.
where we played. I think it was
Yes.
1-1 in Kano.
He-
They just scored the free kick for us.
No,
It was 2-1.
I think they won us in Nigeria and went over there. We played draw.
played
That
draw.
Obama scored
We
called
played
a
a draw.
penalty.
We played a draw in Angola.
Eh.
Came to Sani Abacha 2004 and lost.
And I think
2005 qualifiers.
yeah,
for World
maybe
Cup
yeah. I think
2006.
we lost. So like
We lost by 2 goals to 1.
Obafemi
JJ
Martins scored. Was he?
He scored in the first leg.
Obafemi
1-1.
Martins
Came to
scored a
Nigeria.
penalty in that
Yes.
game. I think so.
And we
yes.
lost 2-1 in Nigeria.
So you see that powerhouse of Angola is, I think they are coming up. They are rebuilding it again because now they have. I can think they have younger players in Europe that are like proving like we can still do it.
Yeah.
We have done it and we can still do it. In as much as we have not won the Nations Cup, we can still show them in Africa that we were one of the best country in African football. And in their league, they are doing practically well in their league. In as much as Premier Augustus, that was then they had like there was a
Segranda,
time,
Esperanca.
yeah, there was a time they reached the CAF Champions League final. I think once
Up
or
till
twice.
now,
or
at least
so.
this will have at least 2 teams make it down to the
Yeah,
knockout stage.
you understand this Premier something like that.
Primera Augusto.
Uh-huh. So you see, they have been trying and using their home-based players is like kind of like pushing, giving an edge. I think the Nations Cup they mostly use few of outside players and more of home-based players
Yeah.
because they understand now understanding that Africa itself. When you come to African football, you give us African pattern. Then when it comes to times of when you're winning games, you bring in European patterns. You understand? African and Europe football is a quite different game. In as much as so many countries are now queuing in, like buying into European football, like teams of like mostly the North Africans
yeah.
and the let's say South Africans.
South Africa, then
North Africans. So you understand? So that's just basic. But West Africa, I think our game hasn't
We
gotten.
still have our system.
Yeah, that kick and
Their
follow.
style
More
still
powerful.
remains.
It's more of Senegal now that is trying.
Yeah.
In West Africa, Senegal is going to trying. Like if you see them play, they play with pa. Then
There's a bit of force, a bit of
yeah,
technical
a bit
game.
of flair. You understand? Because they now have more matured players that like that they play outside and inside. But they are, to me, Senegal league is not even.
No.
There's nowhere to write to my about, but they are still doing it. So to my own, I'll say South Africa first, Egypt second, Angola third. But Angola being third, I think they're gonna gain 4 points from the group because they're really gonna beat Zimbabwe and either draw either Egypt or South Africa. So that's my own
Zimbabwe.
concern.
They are always this team that will always frustrate you and just
That's
score
the
you one
thing.
goal. Now we'll switch attention to our group, Super Eagles group.
Wow.
Group C, we have Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania.
Oh,
I'm going to start first. In this group, in terms of individual talents, we are number 1 in this group on paper.
Nigeria is number 1.
On paper. Now, collective.
not
effort.
even on paper.
On paper, everywhere we are.
Everywhere we are
number 1.
Number 1.
Now, as a team, performance-wise, in this group, according to current results gotten from matches played recently, I think we are number 2 or 3 behind Tunisia and Tanzania. Now, if we go into this tournament just the way we played in the Nations Cup, banking on Victor Osimhen, Lookman, and probably Victor Boniface, we might not get it done. Because in our midfield, we only have one person, and that person has been widely criticized, Iwobi. But every time this young man doesn't play for us, we feel it. Every time he doesn't play for us, we feel it. He's the only midfielder we have in the team that can hold on to the ball and drive. He might not be that strong, stamina-wise, yes, not fully well gallant, but usage of the ball and those pocket passes, those deadly passes, is the only player we've got in that. Now we have a striker that knows how to hustle. But for how long are you going to hustle from match day 1 to probably your last game? The energy you burn for 2 matches is energy that's going to cover you for 4 to 5 games. In this group, I will place Nigeria second, Tunisia first. Nigeria will struggle with Tanzania in the second position. I'm not going to say because I'm in Nigeria we must qualify. Based on what they play for leg, I see us struggling for second position with Tanzania. First, Tunisia.
Nice one. Nice one from what you said. Yeah, it's actually true because Nigeria, by name Nigeria, we don't play as a team anymore.
Oh,
you understand? When as at those days when we anything here Super Eagles, like
they begin to
you
shake,
you shiver, like because
you
you know who
are going
playing
to play everybody.
You're playing against superstars.
You
have one mind.
called super
You're playing against superstars, not just the superstars.
So they fly together.
People who
Yes,
understands
together.
the game, like when it gets hot. In as much as you might be losing then, but
you don't ride them
suffer.
off. You go suffer. Even if you get to beat us by a long goal, 2 goals, you know you
understand?
played.
Like the time we broke that chains of beating Cameroon, that DJ Kocha scored a free kick and Peter
I
Otaka.
think that was in 2004.
Yeah.
Is it 4-1? They just scored a brace in that game.
Was it 4-1 or 2-1? I think 2-1.
Nigeria, Cameroon.
No, Eto scored. Eto scored in that game.
That
was the nation
I think it
scored.
was 2-1.
2-1. Eto scored. JJ scored a free kick.
Then
Peter Otaka
scored
2-1.
You understand? But that
I
game,
remember Nigeria, we are celebrating.
Yes.
the whole full nation, because
Cameroon
Cameroon has been a team that torment us always.
All
We
the
play
time.
them. They came to our home 2000. They won the nation in our home
Now
soil.
soil.
You understand? They have been one of the teams that they torment us always. But as at that time, when that thing happened, that was when they broke the
That
jinx.
jinx, yes.
Since then till now, Cameroon has finding it very difficult.
Last
to
time we
beat
played
Nigeria.
them in Uyo, it was 4-1.
Yeah, you
Mikel
understand?
Obi scored in that game too.
Even in the Nations Cup, we played them. They
Same.
could not match us. So what I'm trying to say here is, Super Eagles as a team, individually, we have the best players. You understand? If we should come to Africa, if we should come to Africa, we have one of the best strikers.
You have the best strikers.
The best
Even
one of the best. I'm just saying, one of the best wingers, one of the best midfielders. And if you check out the defense, AFCON, we have one of the best defenders.
And the African best is currently
Even
from
in the
us back to
goalkeeping,
back.
if we should go back to, let's say, okay, now we have Wabali and we still have Okoye. Okoye is also doing well in Udinese. Wabali is doing well in Chippa United. So you see, we have good goalkeepers, and they are not keepers that you can say these keepers they make mistake regularly. No, maybe their mistake might come once in a blue moon. You understand? So to me, the Tunisians, oh my God, they are sort of like a thorn to our flesh also.
All the time.
Those guys are, if they want, they always play us like the Egyptian players.
Remember the last time Eguabo took us to the Nations Cup, where we did fantastically well in the group stages. When we got to the knockout stage against Tunisia, that was where we lost our confidence.
1-0.
I think it was 2-0, not 1-0.
They won us in that game.
They won us in round of 16.
Round of 16.
So it was 2-0.
So what I'm trying to say is, to me, I'm just saying, in that game, I believe Nigeria is going to top because they won't want to make the mistake. I don't think anybody in that group could match Nigeria's team for now. If our players, the likes of Lookman, Iwobi,
Thumbs up.
Osimhen,
As a team,
like they don't have an injury to
come up and play as a team. Yes.
You understand? Normally, Nigeria, recently we don't play as a team. We play as individuals because I believe we don't have the right coach. The only coach I believed would have given us results, and if we had given more opportunities for Jordan Roy.
Yeah. I'm still against that sacking. But let's not go there. Let's not go back.
So me, I believe it's Nigeria and Tunisia.
Let me tell you, in this group, we're analyzing Tunisia did this, Tunisia did that. Yes, the Northern African countries, they play very good football, very fast and coordinated type of football, unlike what we play here in West Africa. But the only thing is that in their own team also, they rely at least about 60% on players playing in Europe and other parts of the world, not like Nigeria. Same thing with Nigeria. The understanding of that will make the game to be a different thing entirely. The problem that Nigeria has been having is what? We don't have a steady coach. Because we don't have the steady coach, after 6 months, another coach will come and introduce another pattern, another 6 months, another person will come, another 6 months. So that is making them to be inconsistent, making them not to understand what they want to do.
Yes, the only time we maintained consistency was during Genotro.
Yeah,
he wasn't playing fine
because
football.
They gave him time.
But he was giving
West Ham was given time,
yes,
and we saw what he did. When other ones started coming after 6 months, you sack this one, another one will come, you sack another one will come.
After
the players are not seeing it. It is not. It hasn't been easy.
Oh.
But as it is now, they have seen that there is something at stake, and criticisms have been coming on their side based on their performances. Now this one is a tournament. Do you understand me? And not a small tournament. This is a continental tournament that you have to prove what you are.
You're what in Africa?
Do you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to this group, I see Nigeria being the best in that group, and I will still see them coming out as the first in that group.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand what I'm saying? Because this one, many of them will really want to show themselves. Like what you said about our midfield, this coach, it will be a challenge to him. Sorry to say, for him to bring out people who will be around Iwobi, let him be given the final passes. That is what I believe. That is what exactly they give him. That is the role they give him in full, even though it comes from the side.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They give him that.
They give him that role to come from the side, but most times he spends more time in the middle.
Well, I think this guy Lazio, this Dele Bashiru,
he was newly introduced.
I've watched his game.
Yes. The last Nations Cup, he didn't get enough time. He didn't go to the Nations Cup.
They actually invited him in the qualifiers.
For the Nations Cup qualifier and World Cup. He's doing very
coming
well.
in the second half because we needed goal. We needed someone who could power more in the attacking midfield.
He knows how to hold on to the ball.
His touches was so good. Even in last year, watching play,
he scored one of.
He scored our winning goal.
Winning goal. That 1-2-1.
2-1.
It was like I watched him in Lazio. Sometimes I watched Lazio game like
he's fantastic.
He plays like if he's not an African player.
He's too good on the ball.
You know when to
release,
give a pass. You know when to give a precision pass. I think he's not that fantastic midfielder, but he knows what he wants.
He's a business footballer. Business kind
and I'm so happy like this. He's wearing the number 10. You understand? So because I know Irebo, his time in Nigeria has gone, because one thing about Nigeria is once they don't see you finish, they don't see you finish with that. Your own time don't go. Another person go take over.
Now let's be quick about it. We move down to Group D. Senegal, DR Congo, Benin Republic, and Botswana. We don't have much time. So for my own say, in this group, Senegal for me, top this group. Second, be between DR Congo and Botswana. I don't see Benin Republic making it beyond this group stage. They are the one team that we always, whenever they make it to the Nations Cup, they always go there to go and complete the number of teams.
Yeah, no, as it is now, they have a
good coach.
A coach with different mentality.
Oh. Yes. Have you forgotten?
Yes, they have a coach with different mentality.
That's what I like.
I didn't remember.
That is what will make them.
And I remember they defeated us in the World Cup qualifiers at home, and they played very well.
So the coach.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for bringing that back.
That has coached Nigeria.
I'm going to give them a chance.
He knows where he has.
I'll give them a chance
or the level he reached.
And you know the kind of players he needs.
Yes.
Yeah. So with him,
and he's able to convince most of those Nigerians playing Benin League.
Yeah,
definitely
play for their. The last time they came to Nigeria, he came with 5 Nigerians. The World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's convinced, and you know what it means for Nigerians to play against Nigeria. Well,
no, normally. Like,
so in this group,
Nigeria against Benin is that was.
So, Coach, quick one, your prediction.
Yeah, Senegal from what we see,
And
the way they
and
play,
number
that
one
one is number one.
Number
That one
one.
is number one.
With 9
On
points.
paper everywhere.
With
You know,
9 points.
on paper,
Everywhere.
players,
Practical,
coaching, everything. You know, they are number one. Then DR Congo, you know, I think this Eastern East Africa country, their own type of game is always a surprise. If you just watch them in this thing, it's always, you know.
But they're doing well.
But one thing is,
that's
in
why
this,
I said
in this group, Botswana has not been a name.
They've dropped
in AFCON.
Yeah.
They have not been a name in AFCON, and I believe Benin will get 3 points from Botswana.
I see the second position between
DR Congo,
and Benin Republic.
Yeah.
Well, to me, you see the group. You know, last time in the group stage, Senegal they won all their 3 group stages, and when it went to the knockout stage, they couldn't make it up to the semi-final or the quarter-final. They lost in the round of 16. You understand? Surprisingly, you understand, to a team nobody expected. I think that was Cote d'Ivoire. They lost to Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
The last Nations Cup. Surprisingly, when the other coach dropped from after they played their group stage and they came out with best losers Cote d'Ivoire, and they won. Senegal that won the group with 9 points. Surprisingly, so Senegal is this team that if you want to beat them, you shock them. You go all out for them because by physicality,
They're there.
Yeah.
By sense, they're there. And you understand, and their coach has been there now for years. You understand?
There's consistency there.
So he understands the kind of player he needs. He understands the kind of player that, okay, even if this one is not coming, I'm bringing someone that plays similar to this one.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why you see, before you see lapses in the team, it will be small. Cote d'Ivoire winning them the last time was just a silly mistake. It was just an outside shot. Boom. Net. And to me, what I feel is that group, Senegal 9 points. But we can't predict football. Anything can happen. But I see Senegal 9 points. They are Congo Benin. That much.
But if there's going to be
DR Congo is one team. The first time I watched them, I think this guy is there. I think Bakumbu.
Former West Brom player.
Bakumbu, Moswaku, and this West Ham player, I think so.
Moswaku.
That plays for Best Stars now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. They have big boys, and one of these, their defender again, that plays for Marseille. Yeah, because I know some of their players that plays for Marseille. So they have
players. I remember Bekambu.
They have players that play outside the country. You understand? And they have been in all group stages. They have really beat the group stage. They have advanced out of the. And last one it was quarterfinal. They went out. It was actually.
That's why I see them struggling for that second position with
Benin, because Benin now they have a young squad, and most of the players there
are
Nigerians, and they are also outside. They don't have home-based players in the team. General Troy is actually doing a good work, going to each country to figure out the players, and the ones he feels they can click into the team, you bring them in, make them see that there's a reason you are here and you have to prove yourself. So I see that group as 3 people coming out from that group.
So quick one. Let's move down to Group E. Quick one. Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. My own humble, honest opinion, Algeria first. I see Burkina Faso coming out, struggling for that second position with Equatorial Guinea. My own humble opinion.
To me, Algeria has not been that really fantastic this period.
They are building a new squad.
Yeah, they are building a new squad. You know, when you build it, like when there was Mahrez, Slimani, what's this guy named? There was Babs Kudu. That's kind of like show. Yeah, you understand? Those times they were very hot. That's when they won the Nations Cup. Yeah. You understand that they had to beat Nigeria in the semi-final. So, but this time around, I believe their squad is not that too fantastic, but due to their pattern of play, they always have this European-like pattern of play. And
the floor.
You understand? And they don't play hard, but they play soft, and their aim is to win you, get the goal. You understand? To me, I see that group as Burkina Faso. That team, they are always tough. I see Burkina Faso giving them issue because Algeria beating Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso team now, the Nations Cup where they play, I think they qualified as first in their group.
Yeah, they qualified
as first. And I think this
qualifiers.
Okay. They
qualified as first, and I believe they didn't lose any game in the group which they were. I'm sure about that. They didn't lose any game. If maybe later we could do a checkup on that. You understand? I think that group will be a hard one. But I'm taking in between Burkina Faso first, Algeria second. I don't know about the rest. Equatorial Guinea is not like a team to. They might disturb, but I'm not sure if they'll actually make it up to top 2.
So, coach, quick one.
Yeah, it's almost the same opinion, when it comes to this group E. Algeria is a North African country, and they almost play the same type of football: fast football, coordinated football, ready to spank you when the chances come. They are ready to score you as many goals as possible as they create the chances. But what we really have to understand is this West African country called Burkina Faso, they are a very strong,
physical,
very strong team.
Like
so there's something they really have to. There's something they really have to prove. Do you understand me? Unlike Algeria will really have to prove that they are playing this competition in our own side of Africa. We really have to, keep on making it, because they will have more supporters. They will have more supporters because it's close.
Common boundary.
So I see them coming first, Burkina Faso coming second.
So now to the last group stage. We've spent almost all our time here. Let's be very quick. This Group F, which is the last group. I think this is the toughest group. I didn't really check their group. They have Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. I will not lie to you. Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire, after Cote d'Ivoire won the Nations Cup, they've been like this. They're going up. Just fluctuating, yes. Same with Cameroon. Not really steady. So I don't know how to predict this first group. This group, my hands there up. I'll leave it for Coach and CJ.
There is always one thing in football, in as much as football sometimes changes. But you see this Cote d'Ivoire team, there's what they call morale since they won the Nations Cup. And if you check out their players, the ones that are coming up are doing practically well, and they're not doing like Adringa won the best player of the tournament, the youngest best player of the tournament, right? Yes. But if you check out in his club side, he's always on the bench. As part that year they won the Nations Cup, he was always playing. That was when Mitomina had an injury. He was always playing. Even when Mitomina came back, they put him the other side. So he was in form then. So if you check out this season, Cote d'Ivoire players in Europe and they are they are struggling. I don't know. I might not see all in the world, but
a few
they're kind of like struggling. Is it the likes of KCR that went from Baka to, you understand? Even though in the Saudi where he is, I think that's where he is also.
I think he's the captain over there.
Yeah, they are actually struggling. It's not as before whereby he was in Barcelona. You see him coming, passes, play, all those kind of things. And checking the other team, Cameroon. Cameroon is one thing that, no matter how bad they might be, they will still do well.
They always know how to grind that 9 minutes. Anyhow it be.
Even if their player is 39 years, you put him in the pitch, he will still perform.
Give you something.
Lights off. Abubakar. You understand? Abubakar scored Brazil and retired.
He
said he's over. What else do you need?
For scoring Brazil, at least my record is
he says for you to score a whole Brazil, it's not easy. And I'm not surprised they might still call him. Because Cameroon, let's say Mbonu. This is Mbonu.
Mbemu. Okay.
He's doing quite well.
That is their second version of Salah for me.
You understand? So, even the last Nations Cup, I think he didn't have much time to.
That was his first African tournament.
You understand? So
he said it himself.
He's not used to the.
He was just trying to adapt the African football.
You understand? He has not understand the system. And when they were playing, they were not playing all these North African teams. They were playing their fellow
hard Africans,
South
and West Africans.
That comes
and they were hitting him hard.
Aspect, like was trying to adapt. You understand? And the one that they said is 17 years, that will later find out is 30-something years. You understand? So you see, they have the players, but not like see if they can match. The
den of Eto,
Mboma, Song. You understand? So those are those teams. To me, I feel in the group. Gabon, they are not a team. They are not one team to.
They have to qualify.
Yes, you understand.
When they reach that side,
and you know, Aubameyang is not there again.
I think he has retired from national
team. So he's no more. They even in the club side, we don't.
First two is between Cote d'Ivoire.
So me, I just believe the first stage Cote d'Ivoire, second Cameroon, third Gabon, 4th Mozambique. That is where
as it is here.
That's where it is.
So coach,
That's
one.
That's where I play
As it is here.
So coach,
That is
one.
the result of the group.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
It might just come out the same way.
You are right. It may come the same way.
So what's your
That's
thoughts,
the
coach?
place. What I want to say is this: when we talk about Cote d'Ivoire, remember they are defending champions,
Yes.
and they won it.
Pride is at stake here.
By
struggling.
would I say, by struggling,
and best losers.
coming out as best losers, telling themselves this is our soil.
The head coach had to
So,
quit
we
the
have
job.
to
Second
prove
coach came,
something.
yes.
And they got it. And now they are coming to defend it. I believe they will not come
To me, no blessing and fluke.
just like that.
Yes.
Make no be like, yes, they will not come like that. They are coming as defending champions. And I see them playing like defending champions.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I see them playing like defending champions. And Cameroon, what Cameroon is, there are times country's name plays a role.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand me? Cameroon is a name when it comes to African football, when it comes to Nations Cup. Cameroon is a name.
Come and ruin you.
So they really have to prove themselves too. But one thing I really want them to do in that game, let there be understanding. What cost them the last Nations Cup was misunderstanding in their camp.
They had a little misunderstanding
in their
between
camp.
the players,
So I believe
FA,
the coaches,
the Onana and
Onana returning on time.
So I believe by this time they must have
resolved those issues.
Get themselves together. I see them qualifying with Cote d'Ivoire.
So who's your first, second?
Yeah, I see Cote d'Ivoire being their first and Cameroon.
So unfortunately, we've come to the end of another exciting edition of the Refined Football Podcast Show. And to our listeners, our viewers, from wherever you might be within the country, outside the shores of Nigeria, please ensure to follow us on our social media pages, most especially our YouTube page. Remember to keep notifications button on and ensure to reach us for sponsorship and advert placement. Until we meet again,
God bless.
Bye.